Welcome back to Leeds Lately for the live watch-along of Leeds United versus Hull City. Of course, earlier today, you'll have seen that Leicester won and Ipswich won again in the 98th or 97th minute. Something absolutely ridiculous. They keep doing it. So all we can do is try to win our games, and that's what we're going to try and do tonight against Hull City at Elland Road. Looking forward to this one because when Leeds need to perform this season, we generally have... and of course, we have changed our lineup as well, which we will get into in a minute. But first, let's have a little look at who's in the chat. We've got the usual suspects. So welcome to all our Leeds Lately members, including Chewy Backer, Ice Bailey, it's Rob Bailey, Karen Curtin. Let's see who else is in here. I think those are the only members at the moment. And then, of course, we've got everybody else who's a regular in here as well. So welcome everybody to the chat. Evening, everybody. And yes, as Robin says, or Robert, sorry. And John Garside's joined as well from the members. As Robert says, well, this won't be stressful at all. Yes, this is going to be a stressful game, but it's not a stressful game if Leeds get a goal early and cruise to victory. So let's hope that happens. It never does, though, does it? But let's have a look at the lineup then. 8 minutes to kick off at the moment, so let's have a quick look at the lineups. So, in goal, Meslier, of course. We've gone to the back four that we ended the Watford game with: Byron, Rodon, Ampadu and Firpo. Kamara and Gray in the midfield. James, Jorginho and Somerville across that midfield. Attacking three, and then Bamford is the number 9. Welcome, Ben, as well, who's joining us. Of course, for me, this is how we should have started. Thank you so much to Robert Wetzel, who's just become a Leeds Lately member. Thank you so much for joining the community and helping to support this channel. Thank you so much for that, Robert. So, yeah, let's just talk about the lineup. Sorry, again, like I said, it's the lineup that we were all crying out for, wasn't it, against Watford. We should never have broken up that defensive partnership, and I think that is what Daniel Farke's taken from that game and what he's learned from that game. So, of course, that's good news for all of us because this is what we were asking. Yeah. So, I mean, Kamara and Gray in midfield, it makes up a good midfield too, and then Byram at right back, Firpo at left back, and then you've got that partnership of Rodon and Ampadu back in the defence again, which is, of course, what we absolutely wanted in that game because, of course, they've only conceded 3 goals between them, and they didn't concede in that second half, so they've still only conceded 3 goals between them. But, of course, Leeds now as a whole have conceded 5 goals this calendar year, which is still ridiculously good, by the way. And of course, other teams have tripped up as well around these times, but we just need to make sure that we can get our victory today. Shelley saying, I was thinking that Rutter would be out tonight. Does anyone think Bamford could play as a 10 now behind Joseph? I think Bamford wouldn't be a bad option, because his hold-up play is very good. Whether he can actually create the chances, he's not necessarily... well, that's more up for debate, shall we say. Remember as well, guys, if you are in the chat and you find that you can't put anything and talk to our friends in the chat down below, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Then you'll be able to do that. And of course, as we always say, check out Classic Football Shirts. Link is in the description below. 10% off Classic Football Shirts if you use Leeds Lately 10 at checkout and you go through my link in the description down below. Having said all that, let's look forward to this game tonight. Of course, we've gone through the lineup, and we've talked about earlier today the other games in the Championship and the fact that Leicester won and Ipswich have won. So now we're going to have a quick look at the league table and see where that leaves us. Table. So, bloody hell, here it is. So currently, Ipswich, 40 games played, 87 points, top of the table. Leicester City, 39 games played, 85 points, second in the table. Leeds United, 39 games played, 83 points, currently third in the table. So, of course, if Leeds can win tonight, that puts us up back into second. But Leicester do have a game in hand on us, but we can get within a point of Ipswich on the same amount of games as them, which obviously will massively help us out. Don't really care about the rest of the league, do we? Just care about this top section here. And hopefully we go back up into second after tonight's game against Hull City, who are down in 9th at the moment and have not won in their last 5. Ipswich like a fly at a barbecue, just won't F off. Yeah. I was hoping for a draw, to be honest, between Ipswich and Southampton, and we nearly had it. That would have given us a nice little path to the top spot. But of course, they decided to win it right at the end, didn't they? Which is very, very irritating. Currently, we're third yet. The worst results today really just need to win this now. That's what we always say, isn't it? It's what Daniel Farker always says. You've just got to go out there and win your games. That's all you can do, is go out there and win your own games. And of course, we'll be looking to do that tonight against Hull City, whose lineup I will just get up now for you, because we can talk a little bit about that. Hull City, excuse me. Sorry, I just had to sneeze, so I muted my mic because I didn't think everybody would want to hear that, to be honest. Okay, so Allsop in goal, Coyle, Giles, Jones and Tufan, with Tyler Morton on loan from Liverpool in the holding midfield. Philogene, who's one of their big danger men, on the wing. Then you've got Seri, Slater. Carvalho, I think he's actually playing up front, even though he's usually pretty much a number 10, an attacking midfielder. But I do think it's... thanks, Robert. I do think it's a bit of a strange choice to have him up front, but that's certainly what Sky Sports had down as him up front. Justin Odell with the super chat. Hope you're well, Max, watching from Kentucky. Looking forward to a win against a Hull side tonight, and bless you. Yes, thank you very, very much for the super chat, Justin. Really, really appreciate that. And yeah, looking forward to a big win tonight myself. Hopefully, Leeds can do a job here and just cruise to victory. Just get 2-0 up in the first half and just play nice football and just win the game. Do you know what I mean? Like, none of that leaving it to the last second like Ipswich do. Let's just get it done early on, get some goals, and yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not here for this leaving it late thing. I just want to win. I just want to win by any means necessary, but hopefully early on. Players are heading out onto the pitch now, of course. Leeds and Hull City players heading out alongside each other down the Elland Road tunnel, out onto that pitch as the referee picks up the ball. So there is as well, by the way, going to be a minute's silence or a minute's applause. I'm not sure which. I didn't catch it, for the anniversary of the tragic passing of Chris and Kev. So if this is during the game and not before the game, which I'm assuming it will be, then of course we'll observe that. We'll observe that silence. Okay, James, no worries, mate. Shelley Johnson saying yes, a stress-free game would be nice. We don't do them very often, do we? Amy saying hello in America, matches on ESPN Plus. Yeah, to all of you Americans, if you want to get that down. Let's just go through the lineup again because they're on the screen at the moment. So Meslier in goal, Byram, Rodon, Ampadu, Firpo, with Kamara and Gray in the holding midfield. Then you've got James, Jorginho, Somerville and Bamford. For Hull City, you've got Allsop in goal, Slater at right back, Coyle and Jones as centre backs, Giles at left back. Then you've got Morton and Seri in the two holding midfield roles, with Omer out on the right, Philogene out on the left, Tufan in that attacking midfield role, number 10 role, in behind Fabio Carvalho, of course, on loan at Hull City, someone we tried to get. Mr. P, thank you very, very much for your super chat. Really appreciate that. Mr. P says, because of how the other two results have gone, you can see a Leedsy defeat. Naturally, I hope I'm wrong, but we also need a performance and a win. Absolutely. You always have this existential sense of dread, don't you, with Leeds, that well, Ipswich and Leicester can win, so why can't we go and win? And you're like, oh, but we are Leeds, aren't we? We're all Leeds, aren't we? But I know exactly what you mean, Mr. P, because sometimes you just think, why is it Leeds? Why do Leeds do things like that? But hopefully tonight we have none of that, and I hope you're wrong too, and that we go out there and have a nice, easy win. Chewbacca saying, would be nice to have the luxury of blooding Crow tonight. Crew, I guess what you mean. Charlie Crew, yeah. Oh, yeah. See it further down. Robert Wetzel saying all the big games are on ESPN Plus, which has been great, sort of. Yeah, it would be great if the other teams lost, wouldn't it, Robert? But unfortunately, they won. Ipswich, the Great Escape. Karen Curtin saying, come on, the Mighty Whites. And Penny Lane saying, of course, rest in peace, Chris and Kevin. I don't know when that is going to happen. Let me just check Leeds socials, by the way, because it might be a good idea to check just in case I miss it. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's now talking about Christopher Loftus and Kevin Spate, of course, 5th of April 2000. And I think Leeds fans all around the stadium are showing their appreciation and showing their applause. So that's just happening at the moment. All Hull City players are joining in, clapping as well. So great for them to do this, the club, and continue to do this after all these years, and so they should. Evening, Render, welcome. Chewbacca saying, got a good feeling about tonight. Match on the 27th and 32nd. I don't know what that means. Chewbacca, you'll have to let me know what that... 27 inches and 32 inches. I don't know what that means. Are you on monitors or something, do you mean? So players go back out to their positions now. Of course, David Rocky Rocastle as well. It's the anniversary, I think. Leeds are Hull City are going to take the kick here, actually, and they are just about to kick off here. And we are underway at Elland Road. Come on, Leeds. Seri plays the ball back to Coyle and then into that midfield to Morton, who plays it back to Jones. Jones forward into the midfield for Tufan, who plays it back out wide to Giles. Here's Philogene, back to Giles. Yeah, of course, great shout, Robert. If a goal goes in at either end in this game, please do not put it in the chat. I will not have seen it unless I've reacted to it here. There is hardly a delay at all. I think they do a towing cost on the pitch now. I think. Maybe they just don't focus on it much. Here's Joe Roden. Plays the ball back to Meslier, who sends that one up to the halfway line. Won there by the centre-back for Hull City. But now the ball bounces towards Dan James, who sort of just flicks a ball to Giles. Ball back with Morton here. Plays a ball forward towards the Hull City player here, but he can't quite keep it in. Tufan, and it is going to go through for a Leeds goal kick in the end. Even the left back is Coyle. Yeah, well managed by Meslier, but it's worrying though, because he shouldn't have been able to get in that easily. Tufan there, and it's very early on. Here's Meslier. Plays it to Joe Rodon now. Rodon comes forward with it, charges up towards the halfway line and over the halfway line. Now inside to Jorginho, still got the ball here. Plays a nice ball towards Firpo, who's just going to be able to keep that in. Now Kamara with it. Here's Archie Gray. Long sweeping ball out towards where he thought Sam Byron might be able to get it, but it's gone way too far. Not a great pass in the end, and it's going to go all the way through to Hull City's goalkeeper, Allsop. Firpo with the matching boots tonight, lol. Yeah, one came off, didn't it, on Friday night, and he had to swap it. And we had one pink boot, one white boot. Here's Philogene. Good tackle there by Dan James, but it is going to be a throw into Hull City just outside the technical areas. Here's Giles. They look to have a back three, not in formation, packing midfield. Yeah, they've set up with a back four in the formation, but I don't know whether it does seem like... Oh, no, it does seem like they've got it does seem like they've got a back four, but sometimes they tuck a midfield, a left back or a right back into the midfield potentially. Phil Bailey saying the last time this ref had, last Leeds game this ref had was on Boxing Day at Preston when Meslier was sent off, but he did give us a penalty for the foul on Dan James. So hopefully it's the latter that continues the look tonight. Archie Gray just blast that one over the bar as Dan James played it to him inside the box. Mr. P saying there'll be a period of acclimatising for Gray and Kamara as they probably, I'm paraphrasing here, but as they learn each other and the way they like to play and the moves they like to make. So hopefully that doesn't take too long though. But good little ball inside from James to Archie Gray, and Archie Gray just leans back there and just fires that one into the stand. But early signs are good that Archie Gray's going to get forward and potentially make some of those third man runs into the box and get a goal. Here's Jones. Out to Giles. Giles plays it forward to Philogene and then gets it back. Now plays it back down the line for Philogene. Here is Philogene looking to run into the box. Good tackle there from Jorginho. It came from miles away to get that. Jorginho still going with the ball here and still going Jorginho. And eventually, no, he's still going Jorginho. And then plays it to Dan James. Then Bamford picks it up. Keeps hold of it here, Bamford. Does really well. Back to Jorginho. Leeds are doing so well to keep the ball in such tight spaces there. That was great from Rutte. Just as Michael Gott says, great strength from Jorginho there to keep the ball in that situation. Rob saying Georgie is like a 6'4" eel. How tall is he? Is he 6'4"? He seems very lanky, doesn't he? But that's huge, 6'4". Here's Firpo. Going to cross one into the box now towards the back post, but it's just caught there by the goalkeeper. It was a tame cross in the end from Firpo. Ben Turner saying, I can't believe Ipswich today. They seem like they just won't drop points at the moment. Put some real pressure on us now as well. Yeah, it's very irritating, isn't it? That they just keep winning. Just for that, for you, Malcolm, I'm just putting the lineup on the screen now. Back to Ampadu and Rodon as the defensive partnership. Push Gray into midfield and play Byram at right back. That's what's changed since the start of the Watford game. But that is how we finished the Watford game. Here's Ampadu. Now Gray. Here's Meslier now, having a little look and seeing where he can play the ball out to. Remember as well, hit that subscribe button if you're not already, and it'll mean you can talk in the chat. Long ball forward here from Meslier, headed away by Giles. Picked up by Morton and played back to Allsop, who sends that one way over the top, all the way through, I think, to Illan Meslier, yeah. No worries, Malcolm. What did I just press? I have to unpress them as well because they stayed pressed. They stay pressed, the little buttons I have, which is annoying. Liam Rosenior is just absolutely screaming at his players there. Here's Somerville. Down the line now to Firpo. Firpo's looking for an option here and Somerville's dropped off to get it back off him. Somerville goes backwards in the end to Glenn Kamara. Now Rodon and Ampadu. Somerville and then back to Ampadu again. Here's Meslier. Yep, we've got 134 people in here and only 56 likes. If you haven't hit the like button already, do me a favour and smash it. Just as Chewy Bacchus puts that in the chat as well. Great timing. Yeah, the PC's fine now, Michael. It was because the RAM was... Oh, the RAM was set too high. It was overclocked to 6,000 mega transfers per second when it can only do... The CPU can only do a maximum of 5,200, so I changed that and it hasn't had any stability issues since. Here's Allsop. Sends that one up to the halfway line. Won by Joe Rodon. Dan James. Archie Gray. Archie Gray loses the ball there to now Philogene. Carvalho's come a little bit deeper here. Now Tufan plays it back to Giles. No AMD. Here's Coyle. Ball into the right midfielder here who drops it back off with Coyle, and then Coyle plays it forward again. Won by Bamford, though, but it's taken away, and Seri can play that one across to Giles. Here's Philogene. Really good feet from him, and he tries to get the ball back to Giles, who'd made a run, but he kind of left his run. Wasn't expecting the ball, and then Meslier could just pick it up. So here is Meslier with the ball. Yeah, Archie Gray doesn't lose the ball very often at all. I had a whole new motherboard, Michael. So it all changed. Mr. P saying, I can understand why we pass back to Meslier and draw the opposition on, but Hull are doing the same but are keeping the ball moving. We have Meslier holding on for it for too long. But that's, again, credit to them, Mr. P, for basically cutting off our options when we do that, because they know that we do that. So they make us go back to the goalkeeper, and then they cut off our options, and Mellier's kind of stood there like, oh, I haven't really got anyone to pass to here. And then he ends up sending it long, and they win it back. So it's just good play from them, to be honest. Here's Jorginho Ruter plays it down the line to Somerville. Somerville inside the box now. Somerville trying to shape up to shoot. Saved by the goalkeeper, but then Dan James in the back of the net! Oh, it's Sam Byram! It's Sam Byram, not Dan James! Is it a goal? He's saying, is it a goal? It's 1-0 to Leeds. Flag has stayed down, and it's 1-0 to Leeds. Sam Byram at the back post just bundles the ball into the net. I don't know if it was a knee. I don't know if it was a knob. I don't know what it was, but he put it in the back of the net, and that's all that matters. Dan James played the ball into Jorginho. Jorginho with a great little touch. And then, oh, look at Jorginho. How good is he? Goes past about 4 or 5 players, plays it to Somerville. Somerville's cross is saved by the goalkeeper, his shot, and then Byram just comes across and I don't know what it hit, but it went in. Right, let's have a look at this. I think he heads it. I'd like to see it as from a different angle and a bit slowed down. Somerville comes outside, gets his shot saved, and then yeah, I don't know what it hit, but it's 1-0 to Leeds, and that's all that matters. Here you go, here's the slow-mo replay. Yeah, it hits him in the head, like almost in the face, but he manages to put it in the net, so it's 1-0 to Leeds. And we're underway again here. Firpo trying to close down the winger here. And he wins it back, Firpo, and then Kamara tries to win it, and it still keeps bouncing back to a Hull player and played out wide now to the wing. But Firpo wins it back with a good interception and clears the ball to Bamford, who knocks it back to Jorginho. Here is Jorginho. Loses the ball there, which also you don't often say too much. Here's Archie Gray. Archie Gray can come forward now. Does go backwards in the end, though. Judging that to be the best option. As it stands, Leeds would go up to second place over Leicester again. Of course, Leicester do have a game in hand because of that FA Cup. Because of that FA Cup game that they had. When you saw it, it switched the angle, and there was one from that you could properly see, and it hits him in like here, basically forehead and nose. Here's Giles. Plays the ball up to Philogene. Yeah, this is what we wanted. This is exactly what we wanted, isn't it? When scoring first, 0 defeats this season, but please don't tempt fate, Sky Sports. Michael Gott saying 10 plus goal difference to us compared to Ipswich. Could that be a factor in the end? It could be. It very, very much could be. With how close it is this season. Yeah, you wouldn't think it would be an unrealistic expectation for it to go down to goal difference. Which is a good job. Our goal difference is good. I think our goal difference is still better than Leicester's, isn't it? I think our goal difference is still the best in the league. Here are Hull City playing it back to Coyle. Now ball played back to Jones. Giles. Jones again. Level before this match, better now. Right. Oh yeah, because they won by 2 goals, didn't they, in their game? Hull winger couldn't keep the ball in play there, and it's going to be a Leeds throw-in. I've been becoming more and more irritated. I'm guessing more and more irritated with the FFP rules. Yeah. Cheat all you want and it'll still cost you 4 points. Yeah. It's mad, isn't it? It is mad. Because Leicester are potentially going to win this league when Leeds and Ipswich and Southampton have not cheated. Dan James tries to play a long ball down the line there for Patrick Bamford, but Coyle's going to pick it up and give it back to Walsop in the goal. Mr. P saying, okay, we need a second in this half. And Karen saying, our goal difference at the minute is one better than Leicester. Here's Morton. Across to Seri. Now Coyle. Maybe they should just kick him out of the league then, Rob, if that's what they're saying. Here's Allsop. To Jones. Good ball into the midfield, but cut out by Ampadu. Now Jorginho tries to play a ball over the top to Dan James. You could see what he was trying to do, but it's Giles who's come away with it, and he's coming up towards the halfway line, but his ball to Philogene cut out by Sam Byram easily. Here's Kamara. Goes back to Ampadu now. Especially when we got carved up by 15 points deduction twice. Back in the day, yeah. I mean, it's mental, innit? I mean, Everton got theirs reduced, and then what? Forest getting 4 points, or did they get 4 points? And then Leicester looks like it'll be the same. Dan James wins that ball, and Ampadu can head it back to Meslier. Is that Sam Byram's second goal since he's been back? I think it's only his second, isn't he? Because he scored that header off a corner. And I think other than that, I think that's been his only goal. So that adds to his tally. It must have been like 10 or more years between goals for Sam Byram for Leeds. Here's Seri. Back to Coyle. Here's Morton. Now Coyle again. Now Jones. Going back to the goalkeeper Allsop here, but they're playing a dangerous game, Hull City, as Leeds win the ball back through Firpo. Bamford's going to try and hold that one up. It's headed away by Jones, but not very far, and Dan James can pick that one up off Giles. Oh, he has lost it, though. Now Giles has the ball back again after a tackle from Morton. Here is Morton again. Now Coyle. Yeah, the commentator's just talking about how Hull City are obviously playing with Fabio Carvalho up front. So he's not a striker, he's an attacking midfielder, and he's small and he's slight and he's fairly weak. And he's actually dropping into midfield, so they don't really have a striker to hit as such. Great tackle there by Sam Byram, and Ampadu can play that one back to Meslier. But just as I was saying that, it looks as though maybe their tactic is to send Philogene off the left inside to run through the centre as the number 9 is the person to hit potentially. So we better watch out for him coming inside, because Sam Byram had to track him all the way across there. Made a really good tackle in the end, but it's important that we make sure that we track that run. Here's Coyle. Plays it out to the right hand side now. A little chipped ball down the line towards Slater. Here is Slater. Gets away from Ampadu here. Crosses the ball into the box, and Meslier can just catch that one. It was Sam Byram who got the goal, James. Justin O'Dell saying Carvalho reminds me of when we played James as a 9 in the Prem. Yeah, it's probably a good comparison to make. Obviously, Fabio Carvalho's not got the pace that Dan James did either, so he's not even got that going for him as a striker. There's a ball forward there from Joe Rodon, but it's terrible, and it goes all the way through to Allsop, who rolls it out to Coyle. Ben Turner saying we need another goal badly, don't want any stress later on. Yeah, it would be lovely to get another one, wouldn't it? I mean, the other two teams had to do it fairly dramatically, so Leeds have had 34% possession in this game and Hull 66. Here's Carvalho, who dropped very deep to get the ball then. Now the ball down the line. Back inside to Slater. Slater tries to cross it across the box, and Sam Byram didn't know that Philogene wasn't behind him then, and could have easily turned it into his own net, but puts out for a corner, not knowing that Philogene wasn't there. He could have left that ball, I think. Was it going to go out? I think it was going to go out for a... Yeah. Although, I don't know if it was going to curl all the way across to Philogene and leave them with possession, but... I watched some of the Ipswich game. Philogene here with the corner short to him. Crossed into the box. It's flicked around the corner, and now Jorginho's going to have to try and shield it, and he wins Leeds a throw in there. Really well done from him. Yeah. Southampton had their chances, and then Southampton got a player sent off, and... Yeah, it was just a nightmare in the end, and obviously they ended up winning that game, Ipswich, in the 97th minute. Here's Bamford. Oh no, can't quite get on it, but it's cleared by Morton, and it's going to be a Leeds throw-in. Ball headed back to Carvalho here, and Ampadu's going to be able to take that away from him easily. I feel sorry. Well, I don't feel sorry for him, but I can see how it would be very frustrating trying to play in a striker role as Carvalho, because he's just not going to have any way to hold the ball up, because he's just going to get bullied off it. He's Jones with the clearance. Kamara heads that one backwards to Rodon, who can head it out wide to Somerville, who heads it back inside to Kamara, who heads it back to Firpo, who pokes it back inside to Kamara, and somehow, after all that head tennis, Leeds still have the ball. Byram tries to turn and give it down the line to Dan James here, but he's lost out, and now Hull can come forward. Poked across here by Tufan into Seri. Now Slater. Here's Coyle. Cross to Jones, and then they're going to have to go all the way back to the goalkeeper here. Only need 13 likes to get the like total to 100, guys, and then I'll shut up about it. Rodon falls over, or Ampadu it was that fell over there when Tufan was trying to run in behind, but luckily the ball went all the way through to Meslier. Mr. P saying Hull are creating more at the moment. Yeah, whilst we've got the goal, I think we need to... not get not get complacent and think that we've won this game already. We're at home, but we do need to actually make sure of the points here. Tackled from behind on Bamford there by Coyle, and they've won the ball back. Here's Morton. Plays it to Tufan, who drops it off to Seri. Seri into Tufan again, and then Tufan looks up towards Philogene, but doesn't go that way. Morton, back to Giles, now out wide to Philogene. He's going to have to go backwards here to Seri, who plays it to Giles, and then back to Jones. Leeds doing well here to force Hull City to have to play backwards. Now Coyle, back to Jones. Somerville now pressing Coyle and forcing him to go out wide to Slater. Now plays it inside to Seri. Back to Jones. Leeds they were on the attack a minute ago. You can see how Daniel Farke's pressing works here. Hull City were on the attack here, and they had their centre-backs on the halfway line. And within the space of 10-15 seconds of possession for them, Leeds have forced them to go back to their goalkeeper. That's how good the press is and the organisation is with this Leeds team. I think that was, yeah, very good to watch there from a tactical point of view. They haven't. Here's Somerville. Now Dan James clears it. And now Ampadu has the ball. Yeah, sorry about that. I just lagged for a second there. I don't know what it was about, but here's Ampadu. Now Kamara in a sort of left-back position. Sound, can you still hear me? Should be able to still hear me. Someone let me know if you can still hear me. Here's Dan James coming into the box, across the box. Bamford has just missed an absolute sitter. Dan James put it on a plate for him, and he just missed it. Somerville played it back to Dan James as Bamford was holding that run. Why are you doing it with your left foot? Why? Just use your right foot. Use your right foot. Come on, Pat. Get up and get on with it, and go and get yourself another one. Honestly, you could score that goal if you actually had a right peg, like a wooden leg that you could just put in the way of it, and it would just tap it in. Here's Ryan Giles. Plays the ball into the box. Goes right across the face of goal, but he was offside there, the Hull City winger. It was harder to do that than score, yeah. It's a great ball in, by the way, from Ryan Giles there. Could have split the difference and used his head. No, I mean, yeah, there's a minute of applause for Chris and Kev. So everybody's stopping at the moment for a minute's applause. We're underway again here. Melier takes this goal kick up to the halfway line. Now Byram heads it on towards Dan James. It's going to bounce all the way through to Allsop in the end, who rolls it back out to Coyle. It shows that we're creating the chances, though, doesn't it? It shows that we're creating the chances, and if another one comes like that, you've got to think that Bamford will finish it. Good tackle by Kamara there. Goes back to Allsop the ball, and now they can clear it. Well, they play it out, though, and Leeds are pressing quite high here, so if we can win the ball, there's a chance for a shot here. Little lofted ball out to Slater. Oh, Firpo's absolutely nailed Slater, and I think Firpo's going to get himself an early yellow card here. Early yellow card there for Firpo. Well, that is frustrating because we haven't got many defenders who can play left back unless you take Byram off. Unless you put Byram at left back and put Shackleton at right back, but it's not ideal, is it? Here's Coyle. Goes backwards all the way to Allsop. Mr. P saying our best chances have been created down our left, Firpo, Somerville and Rutter. Kamara seems like he can only pass it accurately over 5 feet. He doesn't really attempt it, does he, very often, more of a longer pass. He just likes his 10 yard passes. Here's Coyle as he comes forward and sprays a long ball out to the left wing where Sam Byram can head it away from Philogene, who was waiting to receive it. Philogene goes backwards here to Giles with his throw-in. Now across the halfway line into his own half again towards Jones, who plays it across to Coyle now. Here's Coyle still. Plays it to Slater. Wait, it's not Slater, it's the winger. Here's Morton. Back to Seri. Now Jones. Now Giles plays it down the line, but Sam Byram can clear it. I want to find out what their winger's called, because I can't remember. Here's Philogene. Morton on the overlap, but Joe Rodon blocks away. Here's Giles. Oh, he's called Omer. Omer. That's the winger's name. The winger's name is Omer. Here he is. Plays it to Giles. Now the ball down the line to Seri. Here's Bamford. Good feet by Bamford and plays it back to Byram. Byram's played him down a little corridor, played himself into a hole there, but he's managed to do well to get the ball to Bamford. Plays it back to Kamara and now Gray. Good turn from Gray there, and then Tufan goes through the back of him. Ball's gone out of play there, and it's going to be a throw into Hull City here. Here's Giles. Back to Jones. I hate Leicester more than I hate Ipswich. Ipswich have at least got some sort of story behind them, haven't they? That they've going for back-to-back promotions and they're doing amazingly well as underdogs. Whereas Leicester are just cheats. So I wouldn't mind going up second to Ipswich. It's just that at least just one of them can, if one of them could stop winning, that would be great. Here's Jones. Back to Morton. Sprays a good ball out to the right wing for Slater. Now Omer. Inside to Morton again. Jorginho with a great tackle. Now Jorginho tries to come forward. Dan James on the ball now. He's got Omer all over him, but he's going to try and find a pass here. Drops it off to Archie Gray, but he doesn't. He just pays it straight to Tufan. Sloppy play there from Dan James. He's from Hull, isn't he, Dan James? Pretty sure Dan James is born in Hull. Here's Giles. Now Tufan. Archie Gray forcing him to go backwards here, and he does to Coyle. Coyle coming forward. Plays it into the midfield for Morton, who now plays it to Tufan. Spread out wide to Philogene here. Philogene looking to try and get the ball in the box. Good tackle. Good attempt to tackle by Byron, but the ball squeezed through, and then Meslier managed to clear it. Ball up with Giles now near the halfway line. Goes backwards to Jones. Now Coyle. Hull but qualifies for Wales because of his Welsh tortoise. Oh, yeah. Here's Giles. Back to Jones. Across now to Coyle. Here's Jones with the long ball forward. Cut out by Firpo there. And now Archie Gray. Archie Gray wasn't fouled there, and Hull win the ball back. Here's Carvalho. Played out wide to Omer. He's got Slater on the overlap, but cuts inside himself. Tries to curl one into the box, and Meslier can go up and catch that with ease. That's terrible, Ben. That is awful. That choke. Yeah, Dan James picking the wrong passes. Certainty. Kamara 3 yards away, and he chooses Gray, who's instantly closed down. Yeah, there's just a little bit of, perhaps because we've not played with these players in these positions much, but Byram, Jorginho thought if he left that it would go to Dan James, and it nearly did, but not quite. Bamford's now going to close down Giles, who's going to have to send this one down the line. Picked up by Kamara. Kamara, what are you doing, man? Just get your foot on the ball instead of doing that. Here's Coyle. Back to Allsop. Back out to Slater now, who's got a bit of space to run into. And he uses it. Coming up towards the halfway line now. And dropped off to Seri. Seri to Tufan. Plays it out wide to Philogene. Philogene coming inside. Shoots. Blocked away by Rodon. Sam Byram needs to be careful about his feet there. And the ball into the box and 1-0. Sorry, not 1-0. 1-1. Fabio Carvalho. This is what happens when you don't try and stay in a dominant position and you just let them have the ball. Why do we not try to take advantage when we're in a good position here? Morton does so well to get the ball across the box, and he gets himself in front of Ampadu there, but yeah, Ampadu should be doing better with letting him get across his face, and also we should never have let this happen, because we should have been 2-0 up through Bamford's goal. When Bamford missed that sitter, that's when we should have been 2-0 up. I don't think they make it 1-1 if we'd made it 2-0, because I think we'd just be in the ascendancy then. We're underway again here. Archie Gray. Here's Kamara. Ampadu back to Meslier. Here's Ampadu. Now Somerville picks it up. Plays it back to Ampadu. Yeah, we were on a real run, weren't we, before the international break, and it does feel like we're just, without Gruev in midfield and moving things round, has just kicked us out of our rhythm, I think, and we just seem to not be very, I don't know. Either Byram or Rodon got back for that. It's hard to blame Ampadu. No, but the shot was across Rodon. Rodon was in the right place. Byram got done, and then it's always a mixture of things. I'm not just blaming Ampadu, but Ampadu's positioning should have been better for a cross. He allowed Fabio Carvalho to get in front of him. Here's Kamara. Drops it off to Firpo. Now Somerville. Here's Rodon back to Ampadu. Now Kamara again. Now ball picked up by Omer, but given away again as a throw-in to Hull City here on the halfway line. Somerville has been quite quiet, yeah. Slater is trying to take this throw in now. Chested back to him and now sent long. Rodon heads it backwards and Byram can play it back to Meslier. Meslier plays it back to Byram. Now back to Meslier. Yeah, possession doesn't win football games, but you're playing at home, aren't you? I don't understand why we aren't trying to play with the ball more. We just seem to be, I don't know, Hull are the ones in the ascendancy now, and we need to try and actually keep the ball and play with it. But then who we're going to put on instead of Kamara, John? Because do we have any central midfielders that can really play there? Let's be positive. I mean, to be fair, neither Archie Gray or Kamara is really a holding midfield, so that's a good shout, Ben, because we don't really have holding midfield. I mean, yeah, I get it, but I think people over-egg youth players sometimes. Charlie Crew's not going to come straight into this team and play as well as Gruev or Ampadu would be in a holding midfield role. Here's Coyle, who crosses it into the box, headed away by Rodon. Now Dan James heads it away, and Jorginho can try and pick it up. It's back to Hull City again with Giles. Giles comes forward with it. Plays it out to Philogene. Back to Morton. Now Philogene again. Why are we allowing them to come to... why are we allowing them to come to Elland Road and play their football and impart their style on us rather than the other way around? It's worrying this because we created chances earlier on, but now we just don't seem to be creating anything. Who have we got on the bench? Let me have a look. Leeds have got the ball back with Firpo now. We've got Darlow, Cresswell, Cooper, Shackleton, Crew, Anthony, Gelhardt, Peru, and Joseph on the bench. So we haven't really got any central midfielders other than Shackleton, who you wouldn't really put in there as an out-and-out defensive midfielder. And also Charlie Crew, who, yes, will... he's a good youth player, but I'm not sure it's the right game to throw him into the first team and say we need more stability in midfield. I don't really know, James, sorry, because I've never done it on my own channel, if you get what I mean. It should be next to the subscribe button. It should just say join. But also, yeah, it doesn't matter. Here's Jones. Tufan plays it back to Giles, who plays it forward. Philogene in a bit of a race here with Joe Rodon, but Meslier comes and collects that one and sends it long. Here's Bamford. Now Somerville. Somerville somehow manages to keep possession there, and now we'll play it out wide to Firpo. Here's Somerville again. Firpo's going to make a run beyond him, allowing Somerville to open up a bit of space to come inside. Plays the ball across the box to Dan James. It's Firpo here in the box. Firpo to shoot, and it's deflected off, and it's going to be a corner. Corner to Leeds here. Yeah, it was a good shot, a good position that the ball bounced up for Firpo to take a shot, but a couple of players flew in for the block at the same time, and it went over the bar. Dan James then gets ready to take this this corner kick, but the referee's having a word with Giles, I think. Carvalho and Seri, I think, he's having a go at Ampadu. I don't know. Ampadu and Carvalho seem to be grabbing hold of each other. I don't know. We just need to get the ball in the box, win the header, score, make it 2-1, and then play properly. Play a bit of football there. Dan James with one arm up. Ball into the box. Cleared away. It's going to be a Leeds throw-in here. We're still hopeless at corners and free kicks, absolutely. Dan James throws that one into Somerville. Now Joe Rodon. Here's Kamara, who can play it out wide to Firpo, but Somerville needs to get across and help him out here. Firpo's going to have to go all the way back to Ampadu and then all the way back to Meslier here. Leeds have been forced back. Now Rodon. Plays it back to Meslier. Mellier's quite far outside his box here and he's being closed down. Long ball forward from Meslier. Dan James is trying to get past Giles, but Giles is holding him the whole time. No, he doesn't use his body really well there, Don Goodman. He's been held back by his hand. You can't do that. Here's Giles with the throw-in on the halfway line then. Carvalho tries to go do a little flick, but Jorginho picks it up. Jorginho wins the free kick there. Dude had Dan James hooked pretty well. Yeah, he had his hand on his chest, whether he was grabbing... I don't know whether he was grabbing his shirt like that or whether he was like pushing him away. But either way, he was stopping him moving as effectively as he would like with a hand. Here's Somerville. Good ball from Ampadu forwards, but it's cut out there, and now it's Philogene. Comes central here. Now Seri. And Omer. Back to Seri again. Now Giles. Out wide to Tufan. Plays it back inside to Seri again. Here's Coyle. Chips it forwards towards Tufan, who drops it off to Philogene. Philogene looking to shoot. But it's blocked there, and now Firpo has the ball. Chips it out wide to Somerville, who takes a touch. Firpo's going to have to play down the line here and commit his Kamara. Back to Firpo again. Firpo down the line again. Somerville drops it off to Archie Gray nicely. Then Archie Gray with a good ball forwards to Somerville. But I think that was close enough to Somerville that he could have stuck out a leg and kept it going. But yeah, our passing is woeful, Bruce. We just seem to not be able to keep the ball. But I'm just seeing Bamford's chance back. Oh, Bamford. How can you possibly get it that high over the bar? Archie Gray pokes it back to Firpo. Back to Ampadu, and you're going to have to go all the way back to Meslier again. Oh no, good run though by Ampadu. He runs away from their defenders. Or their attackers, sorry. He just plays it straight to Giles though. Here is Giles. Don't know what that was. I think it was meant to be a cross, but he just sliced it into the stand. He probably will, Karen, and then he'll probably get some abuse and we'll go around in this big circle, won't we? 3 minutes added on to this first half, by the way, of which we are 20-odd seconds into now. Meslier sending everybody up the pitch. He's going to send this one long. Long ball forward from Meslier then. Up over the halfway line. Here's James. The ball's been deflected off the back of Tufan's head there. Now James has won Leeds a corner here. Good corner right before half-time. Everybody's just setting up for it. Yeah, we can do. I'll do it at half-time when I come back. Hey, we've hit 100 likes. Thanks, everyone. Dan James then. Putting a corner in the box. Whipped in. Headed away. And another corner for Leeds. With the performances in these last two games a result of having so many internationals? Well, yes, but also for the fact that a lot of our internationals have got injured in the international break. So Connor Roberts, Ilya Gruev and Willie Nonto, all of which who are starters. Well, maybe not Connor Roberts, but the other two are injured. Dan James, ball sent over absolutely everyone. Now, Kamara has to try and put the ball in the box here. Plays it back to Somerville. Across the box now to Dan James. Dan James chips it in towards the back post, headed down to Jorginho, pokes it, goalkeeper saves it. Here's Jorginho again, saved by the goalkeeper. Kamara drops off to Somerville. Somerville shoots, hits Bamford, back to Firpo. Firpo saved off the line. Oh my God. Offside anyway. I cannot believe that hasn't gone in. Shot then from Bamford was offside, but it did just hit him anyway. Yeah, flags up. Oh my God, well, that's not Bamford's fault, is it? You can't blame him for that one just because he's missed the first chance. Right, that is half time. I am just going to have a quick break. I'll be back very, very soon and we'll talk about that first half. So, yes, back soon. Hello, I'm back. So, bloody hell, few chats. A lot of people asking for Mateo Joseph to come on. I mean, Bamford wasn't onside. So the way the offside rule works in that case is if the goalkeeper isn't the player who's furthest back on the pitch, the player who's furthest back on the pitch essentially becomes the goalkeeper for the offside rule. So you've got your goalkeeper. You've got your goalkeeper here, and you've got Bamford here, and you've got the defender here, right? So if Bamford is here, he's onside because this is the last man. The goalkeeper is the last man before the furthest back. But if Bamford is here between the goalkeeper and the defender, Bamford is offside, even though this player is a defender and not a goalkeeper, because it's the furthest player back, which is always the goalkeeper, other than in situations like that. So that's how that works. Sorry, but that was painful to watch. Yeah, I know. It's frustrating. It's really frustrating because you know how well we can play, and at the moment we just don't seem to be playing well at all. I just don't understand why we are letting them control the game so much. Yeah, so it's just Chris James saying what team last came to Elland Road and had so much possession. Yeah, it's not for ages, is it? This is what I mean. We just need to not let them control it as much. But then who have we got on the bench who can come in and play midfield? We haven't really got anyone unless you bring off, if you put Ampadu in the midfield and put Cooper on, but then it's just as bad. Yeah, it's probably Leicester. Chewbacca's saying probably Leicester. Render saying, hope people don't jump on Bamford for that miss. A confident Bamford is a different animal. This international break has messed all of our rhythms up. Yeah, It's so frustrating because I think Bamford, he's always been that striker who just misses chances like that. Tell you what we'll do though. First sub. We'll do the first sub time thing, just as something to do. There you go. There's the sub pole. He's cutting back and slowing the ball when we could counter attack. Yeah, I think we need to saw the replay there. It did hit Byram in the face, and I'm going. We need to change something because at the moment we're just not creating enough. When we did create enough, it was a great move. Somerville puts in Dan James. Dan James puts the ball across the box. Nearly another assist for Dan James as well, and then Bamford misses it. You've got to use your right foot. You have to use that right foot. What about Anthony for Firpo? Move Byram to the left and Gray to right back. But then where's Anthony play? Anthony plays a holding. What we need is a holding midfielder, somebody who can control the game a little bit better. But it's so frustrating. Let's have a look at their goals. So Philogene had the ball. His shot. Yeah, Morton he unlocks the defence by running past everyone and gets a good ball into the box, and Carvalho sees that and goes across, but nobody else is alive to it. Next 45 decides our season, get Joseph on for Bamford, criminal miss. John Buck 2 saying Gruev is such a big miss. He is, yeah. Render saying, do you think Paddy and Joseph could play together? Paddy in the 10, Joseph in the 9. I mean, there's a potential, yeah. I mean, honestly, if Piru was on front, up top, and he was in that position, he scores. Yeah, Snodgrass is in the studio, yeah. Yeah, honestly, I'm not sure what I would do in this situation. I think we need to look at changing the midfield slightly and potentially changing Bamford as well, as you've all said. So I don't know if anybody saw the replay, but when Hull scored, there was a guy in the Hull crowd who just stood there like this. And it's like the worst, most cringe thing I've ever seen. So I hated it. Max and Paddy would do a better job. We've just got to make sure that we don't have slip-ups like this, because if we do, that's like, you've seen the standard that the other teams have set. This is like playoff territory if we're gonna throw away games like this, because the way that we started with that goal, we should have been out of sight by now. We really should. I just don't think it's I don't know, it's just we need to get those players as fit as soon as possible, because at the moment we're not good enough without them, and that's worrying actually for if we do get promoted. We're not good enough without them. So I mean, we need Gruev, we need Roberts, we need whoever the other bloke was. Who was the other person that we needed? Who was the other person that we needed? Nonto as well, which is another option in attack, and people saying Dan James looks a bit tired potentially and things like that. We've got to try and do something about it. So at the moment, I'm kind of a bit worried about that, especially however long it takes. Sounds like Gruev's out for a while, and then Pascal Strout might be out for the rest of the season, and because that would be your ready-made option, wouldn't it, for Pascal Strout to go in at left centre back and Ampadu to go in the midfield? That helps us, but Pascal Strout doesn't look like he's back anytime soon. I don't think he will take him off at half-time, no, Mr. P, but Mr. P saying, I would take Bamford off immediately, but Farco only has no pace and now his head is down. Not many choices from the bench. Time to change things, but Kamara is currently a passenger in the middle. That's the thing. The only thing that we can't really change is the midfield. Honestly, is the only thing we can't change is the midfield. I just think that there's nobody on the bench who changes that midfield enough. So if Farker feels like he really needs to change the midfield, I think he puts Ampadu in there and he puts Cooper. I think he puts Cooper at centre-back, which is something that none of us want. Switch to back three, yeah, it would be a good call, but we just don't tend to want to do things like that. I just don't think we do. Oh, God, this is stressful. Whoever said it at the start, someone said it's a stressful night ahead, and it's absolutely right, isn't it? Stick saying Rutter needs to compose a little better. Yeah, I mean, he did create the first goal, and he has been the only one who's kind of dragging us forward to actually create anything. But we just need our other players to help him out. I mean, when Dan James puts it on a plate for Bamford like that, he's got to score. He's got to score. Yeah, Shirley Johnson saying we claw back 17 points and now this. It really is the hope that kills you. That is just like us, you know, to claw back that 17-point deficit, then get to the point where we have the opportunity a couple of times to go top of the league, to get 3 points and bottle it. But still half a game left, and we haven't lost at Elland Road all season. So let's have some faith there. Bamford might have had a bad miss, but I don't know if another striker gets in the same position for the same chance. Yeah, that's a good chance, a good shout as well, Justin, to be fair, because I think the way that Bamford held his run by purposely staying offside and then dropping back onside so the player didn't know where he was, that's very clever striker play. So other players don't get that chance, but there's no point creating that chance for yourself if you're not going to put it in the back of the net. So, yeah. Stressful, I'll need a new TV. I haven't said how long Gruev's out for, Render. No, but I actually don't know. Somebody else let us know because I'm not sure what was said. I didn't catch the press conference. So I'm not 100% sure how long he's going to be out for. I mean, we always expected at some point that we would get injuries in the international break, but we never thought it would be all at once. Club silence over Gruev's injury concerns me. Yeah. Like I said, 3 weeks, but I mean, that's pretty much the end of the season, isn't it? Generally, they just give it to everyone straight. Yeah, I know it's frustrating and worrying, and he's been so good this season since he's come into the side that you've just got to think, well, why is he not in there? Can't believe Vardy scored right at the end of that game as well. Okay, James. Yeah, I know it's you still. You got the same badge and stuff. My point is not to be so hard on Bamford. If we get 10 chances, just like that, we'd have got 9 goals. Yeah. Well, I think that's the thing with Bamford, isn't it? He tends to miss more of those easy chances than any other striker, but he does play well in other situations and create things for us. It's mainly European players who get injured during international break. Joseph for Bamford and Anthony for Kamara. Yeah, but then what are you playing Anthony as? A central midfielder? Because I just don't think he's going to be in there. I don't think he could play that role. I can see it getting toxic if we don't win. Yeah, I mean... Oh, God. It's just stressful, isn't it? Let's just win and keep up with the pack. Let's just win, eh? It's just... I don't know. It's stressing me out. It just stresses me out so much. I can't believe that... We've not scored that chance, and now we're going to have to try and come back into this game. It's so worrying. Not long now before we kick back off again. I just want to get underway so that we can just, instead of just dwelling on what happened in the first half and thinking about that, we can actually go in and win some points, go and get a goal. Looks like the Hull players are coming back out onto the pitch now. None of the Leeds players out yet. Hull out first. Are we holding back? Maybe long team talk by Farker. Well, no, there we are. Leeds are coming out now. Just, oh, God, it's stressful, isn't it? Oh, God. Farker's giving them a bollocking. Yeah, well, there won't be any changes at halftime, will there? And hopefully that what Farker said will get into them. It seemed to work in the Watford game at halftime, and we were losing in that one. So now that we're drawing in this one, will we go on to win? I hope so. Yeah. Come on then, Leeds. Somerville and Carvalho having a little cuddle there. We're just about to get underway then here in the second half. This referee's still not blown his whistle. Underway here in the second half at Elland Road. Here's Kamara, plays the ball out wide to Byram. Byram back here to Joe Rodon. Now Ampadu. Back to Meslier. Meslier sends that one long up towards Bamford. Headed away though by Coyle, and now Seri has it. Now Slater. Back to Coyle, who's going to go all the way back to Allsop. Giles plays it out wide here. Oh no, sorry, it's played out to Giles by Jones. Now Philogene inside to Carvalho. Archie Gray bundles him over, and it's going to be a free kick to Hull City here. This is when Nonto would have been bloody handy. Yeah. Injuries and lack of midfield options worries me. Maybe we're just the third best team in the league. Well, I don't think we are. I think when we've got all our players, but I don't think Leicester and Ipswich have had some of their best midfielders just injured. We do keep losing the ball, don't we, Liam? Here's Philogene. Back to Giles. Now Seri. Here's Coyle. Back to Jones. Jorginho trying to get the ball off Seri here as he plays it out to Philogene on the left. Good tackle by Byram. Here's Dan James, and potentially Leeds could come forward here. Here is Dan James, still going. Cuts back on the edge of the box, tries to play it across and nearly gets its way to Bamford, but cleared away. Archie Gray heads it, but Seri has to send it. A not very convincing clearance that's going to go to Firpo. He plays it nicely back to Kamara. Kamara lays it off to Archie Gray now. Here's Jorginho, who plays it back out wide to Kamara. Somerville. Now Firpo. Here is Kamara. Back to Gray. Cross to Rodon. Now Gray. Long ball forward towards Byram. Byram in a crossing position here, but goes backwards to Dan James. Dan James with the good ball back to Byram. Byram with the ball across the box, and Bamford can't quite get there. It goes over his head. And it's going to be a throw-in there. And they're actually saying the throw-in to Hull City, even though Bamford's claiming somebody got a touch. Really good play there from Leeds. It's not. It was a throw-in to Hull City. Oh, no, the goalkeeper got a touch on it. Oh, Don Goodman thinks that Bamford was claiming for a handball, but he was claiming that the goalkeeper touched it, and so it should be a Leeds throw-in. God, he's so clueless. Archie Gray flicks that one, headed away by Slater. Firpo tries to pick it up off Carvalho. He does tackle him, but the ball goes to Ryan Giles. Plays it out wide to Philogene now, just in front of the halfway line. Good tackle by Byram. Byram's got Philogene in his back pocket every time he tries to do anything. Byram just gets a foot in on him. Here's Giles. This is better from Leeds. Force them backwards. Force them all the way back to the goalkeeper here, Allsop. Here's Coyle. Overplayed it, and Firpo wins it back. Now Somerville. Ah, Somerville! Little flick goes past Firpo, and it's going to be a throw into Hull City here. Come on, Leeds, get another goal, Karen saying. We need it, don't we? We just need to put it away so that we can concentrate on dominating the game. Ampadu wins that one back, but he just gives it straight to Carvalho there. Now Carvalho plays it out wide to Philogene. They've got a counter-attack on here, Hull City, as they come towards the edge of the box. Shots! Just past the post from Philogene in the end. Oh, my God. Philogene came back inside. Let's see how close this really was. It was pretty close, you know. I think Meslier had it covered, but it was pretty close. I think Meslier had that covered, but we can't give the ball away like Ampadu did then. Chipped ball down the line here from Byron, but Dan James can't keep it in, and it's going to be a throw in there. Gray and Kamara isn't working, Bruce, but there's nothing else we can do because we've got no other midfielders. No other central midfielders. Wait, here we are. Here we are. Should be able to hear me now. Got you. Got you. Wait, I'm still here, Anna. Oh, thank God. I honestly... The thing is, it only does this whilst I'm streaming. Like, there's no other... what do you call it? There's no other tasks or anything which it crashes for. So I don't understand why it would be doing this. And hopefully it doesn't do it again. Here's Jones. Now Seri. Yeah, I'm on OBS. Firpo heads that one away. Now Somerville. Does really well to get around the man there, Slater, but he has been brought down, so it's going to be a free kick to Leeds. Yeah. Should be... Am I back? Am I back? Honestly, I don't know what's happening, and we're just going to have to try and deal with it on this stream, and then I'll have to fix it. Oh, it says 0-0 as well. Honestly. Sorry about this. It's never happened before until I've upgraded it. Upgraded my PC. Ooh, bad tackle there by the Hull City player, and they're still going to come forward here. Here's Tyler Morton. Plays it out wide to Omer, who shoots just past the post. Leeds really need to be careful here because they're going to concede again if they play like this. Have I frozen? Have I frozen for you, my actual face? Because the timer's still going, but I seem to have frozen. Oh my God. Should be able to hear me still whilst this is going on. I know you've got a black screen. Here's Jorginho. Here we go. We're back. Kamara now plays the ball out wide to Somerville. Somerville cuts inside, looking for an option. Places Jorginho on the edge of the box, who chips one back towards Somerville, but it's headed away. Dan James falls, but here's Bamford, who drops it to Jorginho, whose shot is deflected and it goes wide. Oh, and the timer as well. Oh, my God. Right, we should be right now. I'm just... Bloody hell, honestly. Here's Somerville. Somerville runs across the face of the box and now gives it to Byram out on the right-hand side. Byram looking to get the ball in the box, crosses it. Seri heads it away. Jones now heads it away as well because Seri's header was only straight upwards. Now... Can you hear me now? I should be here. Says Somerville. Gets tackled there. It's a foul. And a foul from Somerville. Oh, my God. Honestly, I do not know what's happening with my stream. I do not know what's happening with anything. And this game is really annoying me. Oh my God. Right. Should be able to hear me. Should be able to see me. If everything doesn't just die again. I don't know how that was a foul on Somerville. For me, it was 50-50 and they both just went for it. Sending everybody up the pitch now, Hull, and Allsop's going to take this one. Sends it long. Headed away by Firpo. Kamara flicks it on towards Somerville. It's just going to go out for another throw into Hull. Everything's stressful. This game was already stressful enough. Ball into Morton. Played back out wide. Here's Dan James. Chased here by Tufan. Played inside to Archie Gray. Really good ball from Dan James. Now Archie Gray comes forward and pokes it forward to Dan James. Dan James turns on it. Plays it back to Archie Gray inside the box. Archie Gray was tripped there by Seri. Leeds fans and Leeds players going mad that that was a penalty. He literally tripped him up in the box. It's got to be a penalty for me. Here's Allsop. He's going to try and clear this one and he plays it out wide. Coyle's going to be able to keep it in, but Firpo gives it straight to Coyle again. Here's Omer. Plays it down the line to Morton, who gets it back now. Kamara. Kamara gives the ball to Jorginho on the edge. Jorginho pokes it back to Kamara. Kamara just... Oh, Kamara, man! What is he doing? Kamara just had a chance to pass it to Somerville there. He messed up his touch and then he messed up his pass. Here's Ampadu. Now Gray. Now Kamara. Ampadu again. Gray. Ampadu. Back to Kamara. Now Firpo. Firpo fouled. Free kick to Leeds on the halfway line. But the thing is, everybody's saying get Kamara off. But just... gets the ball there, does he, ref? Does he commentate? Oh, they're coming away again. Here's Seri. Trying to play the ball into Philogene. Plays it behind him, and it means Archie Gray can get out to him here. Force back here. Oh, Giles has gone off, by the way, I think, hasn't he? So the left back has been replaced. No worries, William. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, that should have been a penalty. Ball up across the box from Coyle. Away by Byram. Philogene picks it up. Dan James is going to try and stop him, though. Philogene shoots from distance. Over the bar in the end. Yeah, exactly. Who would you bring on for Kamara? There isn't anybody that can come on and play centre mid. There isn't anybody. It's a good strike there. A bit of a knuckleball, that, from Philogene. He's Meslier. Meslier clips that one up to the halfway line. Bamford tries to win the header. He's going to win the second, I think. Oh, he's been penalised for holding Coyle there, and it's going to be a free kick to Hull City on the halfway line. Seeing similarities to the Stoke defeat. Bamford missed the pen. Whole team hearts dropped. We lost. Yeah, it's a good shout. Or heads dropped, sorry. Yeah, and honestly, now is around the time that I would be making the substitution to bring Joseph or Joel Peru on. Here's Seri. Now Kamara. Back to Jorginho. Jorginho trying to do a roulette turn there. Was no point in that. Just run with it. Ball out wide now to Philogene. Philogene trying to get the ball in the box. Byron blocks it, and it's going to be a corner there to Hull City. No, just, I mean, it's 1-1, isn't it? There's every chance that we go and win it, but they've got a corner at the moment, so let's see what happens with that first. Ball into the box now. Headed away by Rodon. Seri picks it up. Gives it out wide to Omer. Back to the halfway line. Sent well up the pitch here. And Kamara clears it. Dan James now can be on a break here. Fouled there by Seri. That's got to be a yellow card, and it is. Oh, come on. You can't do that. He's just come across and absolutely nailed him. He's Rodon now. Now Ampadu. Back to Rodon. And Ampadu again. Somerville. Back to Gray, and then all the way back to Meslier again. Somerville. Firpo. Back to Ampadu. Now Meslier. Sends it up to the halfway line. Bamford flicks it on towards Jorginho. Headed away by Jones. Bamford might be able to pick that one up. No, he can't. It's gone all the way back to Allsop. But Bamford's closing him down quick, and he has to send it long. It's going to be a throw into Leeds, I think. No, it's not. It's headed on there. And then Ampadu sends it down the line. It's going to be a throw into Hull City. 70th minute sub. I'll stop this now. Mateo Joseph, the one coming on. I mean, this is the thing. Should we be relying on a... How old is he? 21? 20? Maybe even younger than that forward to try and dig us out of the mud here. Good tackle by Gray. And then Bamford just... Oh, none of us can play a pass. None of us can play a pass. And I think that's probably going to be Bamford's last contribution as well. Joseph's going to come off, going to come on, and Patrick Bamford's going to come off. He's 19, Mateo Joseph, and we're relying on him for a miracle. Don't show us that replay again, because I'll just get more annoyed. He has shown some form, yeah, but we shouldn't be having to rely on a 19-year-old striker from the bench, should we? Yeah, he's got 20 minutes, Joseph. I don't know what other substitutions we can really make to try and change this. Byram's just going to... Rodon's just going to let that one go over his head and win Leeds a throw-in. Hull are looking like they're going to make some changes as well here. I don't know who's coming off because I don't know what's... Oh, so Tufan is coming off. And Zaruri is coming on. I don't know. I think Gruev's like 3 weeks possibly, which might be pretty much the entire rest of the season. Here's Meslier. Plays it out to Ampadu. Oh my God, Ampadu nearly left Leeds in the mud there. Oh, that is not a foul. You can't go to win a header and it just suddenly be a foul. Oh my God. I've never seen less of a foul in my entire life. What is that for? How is that a foul? Here's Jones. Back to Jones. Back to Coyle, sorry. Down the line, and then Meslier can just catch that one. I mean, we've also got Joel Peru on the bench, who scored 22 goals in the Championship last season. I mean, he's got goals in him. Here's Jorginho. Can come forward with it now, charging over the halfway line. Plays it towards Dan James, but it's cleared away, and Leeds are going to win a throw-in on the halfway line. Here's Rodon. Across to Ampadu. Now Firpo. Ball down the line here towards Mateo Joseph, and he's going to get penalised, even though Coyle fell over again. He just tried to get past him, and Coyle just falls over. As soon as he feels contact, he just falls over. But Coyle's the one who's... Oh, how annoying. Jones across to Coyle. Little flick, and Somerville takes that one away, and it's going to be a throw into Hull City. Here's Slater on the right-hand side. Plays it back to Morton, gets it back against Slater. Looking for a pass now. It's not a foul, ref! How can you not see that? This referee is awful. Oh my God. He touches him and he goes down. He barely even touched him. Oh my God. It's ridiculous. Honestly, you touch them and they go down and you just get a free kick. We go down, nothing. Moore and Zaruri are over this free kick. Looking at their options. We've been mauled by the Tigers. I forgot about that song. Oh, God. So Zaruri takes it, chips it into the box, headed straight up in the air, and then Melia can catch it, but it was a foul anyway on Ampadu. That's the only issue with that. Like, sometimes we wear it as a badge of honour that everyone hates Leeds. But the only issue with it is that the refs hate Leeds as well, so... Here's Kamara. Back to Melier. Good touch around Carvalho and gives it to Ampadu. Now Somerville. To Firpo. Back to Ampadu. Back to Melier. We just don't really seem to have any ideas going forward. Rodon. Ampadu. Somerville. Plays it forward to Mateo Joseph, but Jorginho can pick that one up. Oh, there's not really options for him, but here's Somerville coming forward with it. He's got Firpo ahead of him, gives it to Firpo. Firpo's got to find a player in the box. Back across to Mateo Joseph, who hits the underside of the post. He hits the inside of the post there and it bounced away. Here's Kamara. Now Rodon. Into Jorginho, who's got a player on his back. Now out wide to Somerville. Somerville looking to come inside the box here. Pokes it across to Archie Gray. Archie Gray back to Kamaru. Does manage to get the ball out wide to Byram. Byram with the ball into the box. Headed by Firpo. Wide of the post. Leeds have got to take one of these chances. Oh my God. Leeds have got to take one of these chances. Firpo with a really good ball into the box and Mateo Joseph just hits the bottom of the post. And then we have another chance with Byron putting it back across. Oh, it just spins away. How close is that? Then Byron puts it across and Firpo gets a header on it and just directs it away from goal rather than towards. I don't know about other subs. I don't really know what there's not really any other subs to make. They're sending their players up the pitch. Oh my God, Rob. Oh, Coyle's just gone down, has he? How can you just go down like that when you know that it's cheating? How annoying. Coyle's still down. I mean, there's no point time wasting anymore because it gets added on. I cannot believe that hit the post. Dan James should have been alive to it as well, to be fair. He just stood and watched it thinking it was going in. If he'd have been at the back post, he would have just tapped it in. If you look where it's going and you run just in case it comes off the post. And if it comes back out to you, you can just put it in first time. Yeah, that is true, Mr. P, to be fair. He is actually going off. Coyle, he is actually going off. Cyrus Christie's coming on, but he's a fullback. It does kills a run of play, but also he is actually injured. Looks like he's tweaked his lower back or something. Kyle's taking his time to go off. Jesus. Yeah, this is what I mean. I agree, Rob. I think it depends on what's happening. Goal kick then. We're underway again here. Allsop up to the halfway line. Headed away by Firpo. Flicked on by Somerville. Towards Jorginho, who heads it down the line for Mateo Joseph. Feels like he was being held back there. Leeds are going to win a throw-in. Here's Archie Gray now. Across to Rodon. Now Byram. They're forcing us back here. We need to go over the top of them to beat the press or go through them. Here's Firpo. Now Ampadu, who does try to go over the top of them. Headed away by Christie, but now Gray heads it back towards Jorginho. Headed away by Jones. Now Gray wins it again. Morton plays it out wide to Philogene, but Firpo's going to try and battle him, and it's going to be a throw into Leeds. Here's Firpo. Now Rodon. Ampadu. All the way back to Meslier. Meslier to Rodon. Slightly overplayed it. Dan James turns, and now the ball gets to Jorginho. And Mateo Joseph wins it. Does well. Gives it back to Byram. Here's Mateo Joseph again. Plays the ball down the line for Dan James. Dan James comes inside the defender here. Tackled away there. And that's going to be a corner kick and not a penalty. Jones came in on Dan James then. And I'm not sure what happened there, but it looked like a dangerous challenge inside the box. Dan James does so well to get past Cyrus Christie. Then as he comes into the box, Jones... Now, he does get the ball, Jones, but it is going to be a corner kick to Leeds. Yeah, he gets the ball, but they both hurt each other. So Joel Piroux is coming on for Glenn Kamara. Yeah, he is. Shows how much he wants this win. Don't spoil our disappointing corners, Mr. P. I know how disappointing they're going to be. Cleared away. Terrible. Here's Gray. Now Rodon. Across to Ampadu. Now Firpo. Back all the way to Meslier. Now Rodon again. Gray. Ampadu. Ampadu doing really well there to charge forward and then just plays it straight through to the goalkeeper. See, if Bamford had scored that, we're 2-1 up now. And if Joseph had scored that, we're 3-1 up. Or 2-1 up if you say that Bamford missed his. Like, we should be in the lead with the chances that we've had. Ampadu plays it back to Meslier. Now, Rodon. Meslier. Gray. Gray gets away from his man well there. Plays the ball into Joseph, who is fouled from behind there by Christie. Definitely was a foul. Here's Pirou. Now Firpo. Pirou again. Back to Somerville. Down the line for Pirou. Now Somerville again. He's going to try and go past his man here, Slater, and does. He gets past him. Here's Somerville. Somerville's foul! Penalty! Penalty! Come on! He wiped him out. It's definitely a penalty. I don't see how he can have any complaints about that. Somerville just about to cross it into the box. Wiped out there by Slater. There's no complaints about that. Yeah. He just bundles him over. I mean, there's an argument that it was started outside the box, but I don't think so. It's a penalty. Oh, God. Wait, can you still see me, or have I frozen? Someone let me know if I've frozen. Right, here we are. Somerville and Pirou are arguing over who's going to take it. Oh, why are they arguing over who's going to take it? What the hell? Oh, we're back down to 45 bloody minutes again. I'll change it after this penalty. Why are they arguing over who's going to take it? Pirou's fuming. Somerville missed his last penalty as well. Somerville, I can barely watch. Somerville puts it down the middle. 2-1 to Leeds. Oh my God. It had to be. It had to be a goal after what he just did. Thank you. Oh my God. Somerville's going to get a yellow card for that, which is a bit silly, but... Right, we're back with the timer. We're back with everything. Oh, thank God for that. Thank God for that. Headed away by Ampadu. Seri trying to get away from Matteo Joseph and Jorginho now. It's going to go all the way out for a Leeds goal kick there, and Jones, I think it was, fouled Ampadu there. So, as it stands, if Leeds win this game, we are back up to second place, 86 points, 1 point behind Ipswich. Oh, thank God. Yeah, thank God for that. Meslier sends that one long. Pirou tries to head it on, pushed away though. And now the ball is cleared by Slater, the person who gave away the penalty. Byram sends that down the line, but gives it straight to a Hull City player. Now back to Fabio Carvalho. Carvalho chips it into the box, headed away. Firpo goes up for it, and Meslier can catch that one and fall on it. But, oh, God. 7 minutes added on, by the way. 7 minutes added on. We're 39 seconds into it now. Oh my God. Melier sends it long. Headed away by Christie. Now Ampadu. Oh, they've picked it up again here through Omer. Now Carvalho. Out wide to Zaruri. Zaruri inside the box, but Ampadu pokes that one away, and Ampadu fouled there by Omer. We just need to get the ball away. Yeah, the clock doesn't go past 90 minutes. I would have to start it again, and it's too late now because I'd have to change it all. So we're a minute and a half in. No, I don't understand what Slater thought he was doing there, making that challenge. Oh, it's a free kick to Hull here, just inside their own half. Long ball forward from Seri out to the left wing. Leeds shouting for a handball. The whole crowd did, but nothing given. Played back here to Jones. Across to Seri. Played out wide now to Omer. Oh no, Philigine's now out on this side. Back to Christie again. Oh, he's giving the ball away here, Jones nearly, but no, Dan James is not able to get at that before Zarori gets it. Oh, it's a foul there from Byram. Now Carvalho. Jorginho's positioning, just making him think about going twice. Here's Seri. Now Slater. Back to Seri. To Zarori. Crossed into the box. Firpo heads that away. Now Philogene brings it down, but good tackle by Mateo Joseph. Mateo Joseph still got the ball here, and he's going to win Leeds a throw in. Yes, well done, Mateo. I am sweating. Thanks, Liam. Appreciate that. Somerville's coming off, and Jaden Anthony is coming on. And also Shackleton's coming on for Byram. So Shackleton comes on at right back. And Anthony comes on for Somerville as well. Come on, Leeds. 3 minutes to go then of this added time at minimum. Ampadu's going to take a long throw in down the line. I don't need to see the bench. I need to see what's happening in the game. Ball with Jones. Played across the back. Back to Jones. Now to Christie. Long ball forward. Picked up here by Carvalho. He's going to look to try and cross the ball into the box again. Headed away by Ampadu. Now Seri. Tries to poke it back, but Gray can get rid of it. And then Mateo Joseph can send that one clear. Does really well there. Just laughing at John's comment. Here's Christie. Again, Christie back to Allsop. Now Christie again into Carvalho, who comes deep to Seri. Back to Seri again from Carvalho. Mateo Joseph chasing Seri down, but they're just playing around on the halfway line with it here, Hull City. Leeds are sitting deeper and deeper. Yeah, Jones is up front at the moment. Here's Philogene, who plays a little overlap ball. Ball into the box, cleared away by Archie Gray. They are going to keep it in here, though. Morton tries to cross it in towards the back post. Headed back across, headed away by Ampadu. Good positioning from him. The goalkeeper, Allsop for Hull City, has come forward for this corner. Ball into the box from the corner. Headed away by Rodon. But Olmo still has it, and Seri can try and put it back in the box. Headed away by Mateo Joseph. Headed away now again by Rodon. And now Jorginho gives the ball away in the box. Rodon clears. Plays the ball down the line to Dan James here. Dan James has got to shoot from the halfway line, and he does. Dan James, yes! Dan James has scored from the halfway line and made it 3-1. Beyond all doubt now. Leeds go back into second. Dan James bangs one from halfway. That is just what you love to see at the end of a game. How often does it actually happen when a goalkeeper goes up for a corner and you score on the break? Very rarely ever. And Dan James has just scored from the halfway line. Who said Dan James couldn't finish? Who said Dan James can't shoot? Dan James scores from the halfway line, mate. Good block by Rodon. Then Piru played it down the line to Dan James, and he just hits it first time. And I can't believe he's just put it in the back of the net from the halfway line. Come on. Oh, Liam Rosinia's face. Get in. Get in. Dan James scores from almost the halfway line. Headed away by Ampadu. Mateo Joseph lets that one go out. And now Hull City have a throw in through Slater on the halfway line. Here's Christie. Back to Seri. Slater. Tackle by Anthony. And Seri sends it long. It's a great pass from Seri, by the way. That's unbelievable skill. Shackleton defends it well and gives it to Piru. Piru to Jorginho. Jorginho just leaves the ball behind. Seri shoots. Meslier be able to pick that one up with ease. Mellier's taking his time over this one. He's still got the ball in his hands. Honestly, I'd take a yellow card if I was him. I would take that long. He's dropped the ball now, Meslier. And he's about to send it long, but Leeds have won 3-1. Oh, what a roller coaster ride that was. Oh, my God. Thank God for that. Thank God for that penalty. Thank God for that. Yeah, we did hit the post and miss a sitter, and we created enough to score more than we did. But thank God for that. Yeah, 97th minute, but that one was to seal it, wasn't it, rather than to confirm it at all. But wow, Dan James with the goal from the halfway line. And Leeds go back up into second in a game we had to win. We've got the job done. And like, who was it that said? Like Sujal says, 15 games unbeaten. Unbelievable stuff. Thank you, everybody, so much for joining me. Sorry about the technical difficulties we had. Hopefully that's fixed now. I did change some more settings, so it should be fixed. But thank you, everybody, so much for joining me. Leeds have, of course, won 3-1 and gone up to second in the league, just as we needed to keep up with the pace. We've done our job. So thank you, everybody, so much for joining me. I'm going to do a match reaction now, so look out for that on the channel, and I shall see you in the next live watch along as well. So thanks, everybody, so much for joining me, and I shall see you in the next one.